everywhere. So it comes with this really cute packaging. You can also buy it in a box. Boom. And then you'll find here. So it comes in this little packaging. And if I'm not mistaken, it has matcha. What funny story is, the first night we were here, I was like, oh my God, it says like sharper mind, calm energy, manage stress. And I didn't realize there was matcha and caffeine in this bad boy. Huh. So at 8 o'clock at night, I shot one back and I was up until 1 o'clock in the morning. But it has lion's mane. I'm going to murder these names. Bacopa.
You got cordyceps mushrooms in there, lion's mane in there. Yeah, I'll help. Gina, can I help you out here?
Yeah, can help me out.
So we got lion's mane, we got bacoba, we got, I didn't even look at these, cognizant, rhodiola. Rhodiola I like from a concentration. To me, I'm curious how you've heard this before, but I've heard it compared to almost like the nature's version of Adderall, which I would not put it in the same arena, but in the sense of how it could be beneficial for at least focus and energy. Cordyceps, matcha. They're saying for calm energy, what that means to me is not getting the same intensity as far as if you get jittery from like a caffeine source or another type of stimulant. Rhodiola can give you less of the like shakes or anxiety. And again, I'm oversimplifying it. Ashwagandha, L-theanine, turmeric, again, for managing stress. So again, that kind of complements well with rhodiola and the cordyceps as well as the matcha. So that's going to be maybe more of the stimulant. The ashwagandha, the L-theanine, the turmeric is going to help kind of calm your system at the same time. So it's a very focused energy, so you're not feeling like you're bouncing all over the place, which I can very much feel. Then vitamin B2, B3, B12, vitamin C, and vitamin D. The only thing I would say with vitamin D, it is a fat soluble vitamin, so you want to have it with fat. This has 1 gram of fat, so that's helpful to see with it. But overall, like, it's a very like volume efficient source for energy and focus. That's what I would categorize it. But really, like, honestly great. And it doesn't, I don't know, sometimes when I think about this stuff, I think it's going to taste horrible. It's
not. Actually, honestly, it's great. And you know what? I'm going to do one right now. Let's go. If we want you one. How do you feel about doing?
I've already like hit my caffeine load for the, actually, I'll do like a half, I'll do like a sip. Because I've already hit my caffeine load and I have my protein, our select cheers. Cheers, Michelle. Yeah. So it's like got like a lemon kind of, a citric lemon and grass kind of combo. And then what you're going to see me sipping on right here is actually a last bit of coffee I have for the day. That's why I don't want to have too much more. And I mixed it with our PES Science Select Protein. Now this is the powder. We have the pre-made shakes. I mixed them together.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. So I basically just put the protein shake in with my coffee. It's like my favorite way to substitute a creamer is by getting this in.
Yes. So we have PSE in there as well. And let's see what the next
powder right here if you want.
I'm gonna swipe through what the next product is. Guys, how we doing? Oh, we got Good Wipes next.
Yes, Good Wipes.
All right.
Well, so I'm gonna check my internet connection here on my Amazon phone.
So we had Good Wipes sponsor us as well. So they gave us some of their wipes. Okay. They are perfect for any and all restroom activities. I love how they word that. Any and all restroom activities that time of the month, before and after a date, trust us.
Yes. Okay.
After your coffee kicks in.
Yes.
And a post-wet session reset.
A post-sweat. Yeah. So that's actually, and this is something that we don't have to go too far into the weeds of. And this is, I just want to give a shout out to Michelle Culkin, who we have one of our practitioners and instructors, gave a great workshop on a variety of things with our skin, and our skin being our largest organ. So there can be benefit to obviously keeping clean, right? And being able to make sure that we don't have too much of the wrong bacteria, but also not completely washing out the natural kind of film or bacteria we have on our skin. So that's like an interesting, I think, opportunity where you don't necessarily have to shower like 3 times a day.
Yeah, and it says made with skin-safe formula, soothing aloe vera, moisturizing vitamin E, vegan and cruelty-free, plastic-free, dye-free, paraffin-free. And it says it's safe for septic and sewer. Nice. Great. It is flushable. And out cleans toilet paper. Honestly, they smell amazing. They have all different scents. These came in handy. We went to the National Tree Park while we were here on the retreat, and we had to use like these little pop-up bathrooms, and it wasn't the best situation, but we had these in the van and we used them, and it was a lifesaver. So we got everyone in their goodie bag.
Hey,
got one of these bad boys, and absolutely phenomenal. and at a reasonable price too. And you get packs of them. They do have travel size too. If I'm not mistaken, I might have one or two in here that we had. Yes, we do. So they have little ones like this as well. If you go to their storefront, click down below and go to their storefront, you'll be able to see these little ones right here, or you can get big ones to keep at home. But these are great for travel, and I absolutely, positively love this. Okay. Next up, we have St. James, the iced tea.
Ooh, yeah. So this was one I just literally got to try today. I did it pre-workout, and I tried the peach. What flavor do you have there?
It's a peach.
The peach.
I think that this was yours off the counter. I grabbed it.
It was actually like really surprising as far as the flavor. It wasn't overwhelming where it's overly sweet. I don't know if you've had that before, where you have it like it just you can taste like there's maybe artificial sweetener or artificial in it. It was just nice and subtle, and also gave me like again my last little pre-workout boost.
This was absolutely phenomenal, to be honest with you. Like zero sugar, and again, I know some people hate the taste of artificial sweeteners. I think maybe because I was so used to it, my mother always used it as a kid. But this one actually uses I'm not sure, stevia. Let me see. Oh, the ingredients are black brew tea, filtered water, organic lemon juice, and organic stevia leaf extract. That's the only ingredients. So I think that's it's black tea,
and
lemon.
Live chickens. What? I'm sorry, there's live chickens. This is what you appreciate about Joshua Tree. You just get some straight up live chicken.
Oh, Ryan, bring a chicken in here.
Right? You guys want some chickens on Amazon? We got you. Come to the castle.
I was drinking the St. James.
Yeah.
Okay, we got a Michelle approval.
Yeah.
We'll go into why we're saying that later on in the live. Let's get through the
Also, hey Dina, what's going on? I see you on Facebook. We're in Joshua Tree, California, by
How do
the
you
way.
see that?
Castle House. I see it's Dina, and then I see on YouTube, but Dina I saw before was asking where are we?
Oh, okay.
And then on YouTube, but they're just saying hey, I think, or question mark. Let's swing it back over. I can't see that good. But
Yeah,
I know
can't see that. I don't know how he sees
Yeah,
that.
whereabouts are you? Yeah, exactly. And I see the that's a funny butt.
No, it's okay.
We're in California.
You guys
We're at the
go on
Castle
site.
House. It's a beautiful setup. Yeah, Rosie, you want to join us?
Sure.
Come hang with our live.
So guys, but real quick before we jump off St. James, they do make a whole bunch of new flavors, and they come in in cardboard boxes, not cardboard, the cartons. Thank you. The cartons, and they also come in this as well, which are recyclable, and they're USDA organic, 0 calories. Again, flavored black tea with lemon. They are phenomenal, guys. They have so many different flavors, and if you're looking for a 0 calorie drink, this is phenomenal. And it does have caffeine, just be aware because of the black tea. And it tastes great. So if you want to continue drinking or finish your...
I'm gonna finish this out. I just drank my last bit of protein and coffee, and I'm pushing it by drinking and I usually cut off my caffeine intake by 1 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock pretty much right now. This is my mission. Actually, this is how much I enjoy it. I'm really tempted to put more caffeine in my system. Last thing I'll plug for any caffeine source, I'm curious what you've seen on this, Michelle, just as a quick number check, is I've seen caffeine in general can have a half-life of 8 to 12 hours, which is a fancy way of saying if you take whatever, let's say this has 50 milligrams, I'm making that up. I don't actually see the actual listing here, but let's say black tea has 50 to 70 milligrams of caffeine per serving. 12 hours later, it'll have half of that, or up to 8 to 12 hours later, it'll have half of that still in your system. Yeah, that was the last thing I read. So I think that's just the reason I point that out is like be mindful of how you time your caffeine.
Yeah, a lot of times, so a cup of coffee has like 80 milligrams. Higher too.
Once I drink for like
How much is
100,
Magic Mind?
I go with an extra rich. Magic Mind, I believe is 50.
You can use them too, vitamin C, vitamin D.
So yeah, it's a great option where again you have a combination of productivity.
55 milligrams.
Yes, 55. So that's like a nice small bit of something. But if you're, let's say you have a lot of caffeine, like I'll do 400 milligrams of caffeine. So which is what I'm pushing today. That's a nice way to kind of pace it out.
So we have here today, we have fresh caps. I put both of their products down below. We have Lion Mane. It's for clarity focus. It's a mushroom. I didn't try this one yet. Let's try it. I don't know if it's packed. Oh, it's packed. I think you gotta put it in.
Yeah, let me see this. Oh yeah, this is legit. So I actually have water right here, so I'm gonna throw it in with my waters. One thing I will say that I'll have, so okay, you got 1400 milligrams mushrooms, ratio. The biggest thing I like to look for, this is almost all supplements. One thing I appreciate, they have your USDA organic stamp of approval. That means that it's actually going to be a registered, like tested product. One thing I do like to see with any supplement though is either NSF certified, meaning that it's safe for athletes to take, so you know you're not going to fail a urine test. But it's in USDA quality control or third-party testing. It has in it what they say is in it. I'm gonna give you that, G, and then Rosie, if you want to like tag on it. But I just realized my one live stream
What happened?
reset. This one reset because the internet.
Oh, I think mine came off here. I think I'm just using I'm using Castle House.
Yeah. I'm just gonna.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll just pick it back up.
That's fine. Lion's mane. So again, I'm gonna say it says clarity, focus, mood, supports mental performance and cognitive well-being. 14,000 mgs of mushrooms per
Milligrams.
serving. 14:1 ratio. Let's see. Vegan, non-GMO, cruelty, no added grain or filter. No grain.
Yes. Hey, what's going on, Galaxy?
And then suggested use: take 1 packet daily, and mix into coffee. Spell coffee wrong. Wait,
Hilarious.
or is that
You're right.
Hey, y'all.
coffee, tea, smoothies, or fruit? Just so you know, mushroom, fresh cap. This is coffee spelled.
Is it wrong on all of them? Or maybe just
I don't know. It might have been this one bag.
Might
but
be a print.
Just
imagine like they pranked us.
Yeah.
Wait, should I mix it
How are you
with
paying
water to
attention?
taste it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, you
Here,
do.
I have a fresh water. I'll test.
You could do. Why don't you do half in case we hate it and then you didn't waste the whole water bottle?
Touche. I'll only do a little bit in here just to get a little flavor.
Aren't you supposed to put a whole one?
Yeah, but the ratio.
Oh,
like a
wait.
full packet would go with probably usually it's 16 ounces of water is what they want you to mix it with.
It actually doesn't say.
So I'm gonna go with less so I don't mess the ratio up.
I feel like isn't it normally like 16 ounces of water?
Yeah, so I just
8 ounces of water.
you could,
will
but
say-
usually
Can I add something?
Yeah.
So lion's mane is an adaptogen, and that means that it helps you adapt through the day. Lion's mane is awesome. It does need to be dual extracted, so it's worth figuring that out. But every day, you got to take it every day, and it takes a couple weeks before it actually gets to a certain level in your body to where it starts doing its strongest action. But for people that have dementia, taking lion's mane every day, it'll reduce their symptoms by around 30%. Clinically proven. So as clarity and focus, you'll start noticing that more and more so the more that you drink it. But you need to do it daily because if you start losing days,
Yeah,
you'll
losing
regress
the
a little bit, and you got to build that level right back
Yeah.
up in your body to utilize it.
and this is what I will say too when it comes to the flavor, it's not like delicious. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. It tastes like from my experience, if you ever had any kind of like mushroom blend, it tastes like a
Yep.
what you would consider as like a traditional like mushroom kind of blender powder. So it's a little earthy. It's not horrible, but I definitely would recommend using a 16-ounce water for a full packet because even just pouring in half into this amount, it has that earthy taste to it, which is not the end of the world, but just something to be mindful of.
Okay. Now we can see everybody.
Boom,
How
now I
you
got my audio.
doing?
I actually got my audio reconnected.
I think I'm good.
I think we're good, Joe.
I think we're good. Next we have Built Bars. These are my favorite. I'm not even gonna hunt. Nope.
The Built Puff Bars. I'll be honest. Here's the one thing I like: the brownie flavor.
No, have you had one of these?
Yeah, I don't like those.
You
as
don't
much.
like
I
these?
like
These are
the
my
brownies the
favorite.
most. The brownies are my go-to.
Okay, so guys, Built Puff Bars, and I've had a lot of protein bars in my day. Are phenomenal. Oh, mine went down.
Boo.
Yeah, I'll just restart it. Go ahead.
Yeah, just reset. So we're talking about the Built Puff Bars. This is my 2 cents on it. This is the cookie dough chunk. There's a difference in the puff. It insinuates with the puff texture. They're a little bit airier, puffier. I like the brownie. That's my hands down favorite. We've had peach. We also have the cookie dough chunk. I like cookie dough chunk. Coconut's another one that I like, but what I like, I tend to not eat them by themselves. They can be a good snack as far as getting in some protein. If we break down, I personally pay a lot more attention to macros. It's something Michelle and I have talked about, even Carrie and some of our other practitioners here. I do a lot of the math breakdown. Then think of it as a spectrum, right? So on a spectrum, how you want to look at things, looking at numbers is one part of the spectrum. On the other end, think about quality of ingredients. How much is in there? That's on a further dialed down part of the spectrum, in my humble opinion. So Michelle, I think, really has a good dialed in approach of like, hey, we want to be mindful of what the ingredients are more than even just what the numbers are. I tend to focus on numbers first. Part of it's my brain chemistry. I just orient to math. But so for 160 calories, 15 grams of protein. That's my like ratio. I like to see that means roughly 40% of the calories are protein. That's what I look for. And that helps to make sure we're getting an adequate protein, make sure we have a level of satiety. And then when we break down the ingredients, honestly, usually when you see more than 5 to 10 ingredients, there's opportunity for them to refine it. But what that means is usually it's preservative and flavor oriented, which is a lot of what you're going to see here. I personally just love the brownie mix the best. The coconut comes after that. I haven't tried the peach. That's actually one. If we have,
I didn't like it, honestly.
But you like this. You like
I
the
thought
cookie
the
dough.
peach tasted like candy.
Couldn't do it.
Really?
I tried
So I
it, and
haven't
it gave
tried
me
it.
a really weird aftertaste. But since I got my live got cut off real quick, I'm just gonna show them that, guys.
Show 'em.
The built
I can get mine on.
is
So I'll-
puffy.
we'll have to
We'll
do it
just
another
rock
day.
it.
It has chunks
I'm
of like
just gonna
this
record the behind the
fake.
scenes
It's
stuff.
not working.
Nice.
Nope.
Why?
I don't know. The app keeps like asking
Crash.
me to sign in and crashing.
Yeah, it's
And
the
I tried to
internet.
reset it on the Amazon and then go back to the live, and it was telling me no.
Okay, sorry.
So I don't
Amazon,
want
get it
to be
together.
sitting on here trying to like get
it.
it, waste it. So
So here's the other one without the. So this is a puff crunch. This is the regular puff that he was talking
That's the one
about.
that I like.
It's the
I think
brownie.
that's my favorite.
If you guys ever had a Malamar, it's the same consistency of a Malamar. So it's like marshmallow in the middle with chocolate on the outside. And again, it's only 140 calories, 17 grams of protein plus collagen.
See, that ratio is even better from what I look for from a protein to calorie.
Is it?
Yeah, like I like if you get that means it's more than 40% of its calories are from protein.
So,
But again, that's one way to evaluate your kind of protein bars.
but this is my favorite. I'm gonna hold it up a little bit closer as I highlight it. Whee!
I'm also gonna take my sunglasses off
So we can
just
see your
so I
beautiful
see a
face.
little bit more.
I'm gonna see if they want me to share it internally.
Right here. So again, if you guys see this beautiful Puff Bar logo, these are my absolute favorite. So
Yeah, I'm gonna
guys, go
invite-
check them out. They're actually 15%. So for this whole box, it's only $25. Okay, 25 bucks. All right, next up we got
We got.
Funky Junk.
Ooh, I just had my funky junk glasses come off. I'll talk about the hat.
Thank you.
I have this hat and the glasses.
I'll
on.
throw them on just for this little like plug. And also, I got my girl dad, Funky Junk. This is actually, I think of all the hats, because I've gotten a variety of things from Funky Junk, from like almost cowboy styled hats
Let's take out some of their stuff. We got these.
to this is their girl dad. I got the Funky Junk glasses. They even have sent me like snow hat, like beanie caps with a little pom pom on it. But honestly, the girl dad one's my favorite, and I think it's just really good quality, honestly. And it's obviously the snapback, so it's adjustable.
I really liked mine. Mine said, "I'll bring the party."
Yeah.
Yes, Michelle got I'll Bring the Party.
Yeah.
So we gave all of our guests these hats. So shout out to Funky Junk. You can swipe down the carousel down below and see all the different styles. So you have everything from like a trucker style hat here, as you can see. Pink Pony Club. We had to do the West Hollywood.
Get it on.
Okay.
I have my glasses on my head.
There we go. Let's do a little backwards double action going on here. We have my husband is already in love with this one. Sorry about my wife.
The whole week.
The whole week
weekend,
he's
I think.
been literally wearing this hat during the entire retreat. So it's been really cute, and everyone's been loving the hats. I picked out this one. I felt like the moons were appropriate for Joshua Tree. Look at that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wax.
She has her wild hat on, so that you can see all the different styles that they have. More men's snapback, but they have ones that say, put it on my sugar daddy's tab, put it on my daddy's tab, put it on my father's tab. Like, there's such cute sayings. You have a bachelorette party, they said it like she said, I'll bring the party, I'll bring the snacks. There's so many different sayings that are really, really cute. Along with that, they have the sunglasses. I think I put
Even
more.
mine say, I'll bring the good times.
Yes, so look at these. So if you're having a bachelorette or a wedding and you want some really cute sunglasses for your party, they have like bride and everything.
The heart ones.
Can you take a
Valentine's
tag off of
Day.
me?
I feel
Can I
like
tag
that
you?
would be like a Valentine's Day or a
I think you should rock
bachelorette
these,
party.
Mike.
I was wearing the hard ones yesterday.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Perfect for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, this is like a good.
And let me show you guys up close so you can see. I'm not gonna show you what the other side says because I don't want to get banned from Amazon, but I'll bring, and it says,
Mine's appropriate. You want
There we
to show
go.
mine?
Yeah, yours have. What is yours?
Mine says the gangster rap.
oh, okay,
Mine
so
says, I'll
like,
bring the good times.
so this one
So mine's a
says,
little bit more appropriate.
I'll bring the gangsta rap. Okay, there you go. Now, Mike,
I'll rock these all day.
look at
Valentine's Day special. Come on, Wi-Fi.
I know. Here we go. Let me see if I can just turn the Wi-Fi
Yeah, I
off.
can't even get her thing to.
Hold on. I'm
Who's
just gonna turn the
calling
Wi-Fi off, and I think
That's
we
what I need to do when I do my little post for my Valentine's sale with my products. Is where
Get your glasses.
Get you some
Yes, where
glasses.
the
That's what you get to put them on. And then hopefully whoever's calling me will go to voicemail.
Someone's calling you.
Let's just double check. I always like to check to make sure it's not like an emergency. No, it's just spam. Come on,
Oh,
Spammy.
don't end.
And again, one
There
thing
we
that I
go.
want to offer everyone is if you have any questions, not only on what you see in the carousel, but anything we're talking about, not only I'm happy to speak to my kind of specialty. We have Michelle here as well. She can speak to anything that you want to ask her. Gina and Rosie also from there, I think really informed perspectives from the content creator side, the use of the products. We have a really, I think, a fun combination here from parenting perspective to healthcare professional to everything in the fitness side and everything in between. That's why I was really excited to be able to give you guys this like recap of the products and even a little bit about the weekend too. So I'm curious, what you guys all think about just the retreat overall? Because I think we got like a really good, I got to give props to Gina for like getting the care package.
Oh, thank you.
Putting everything together.
Yeah, I think it was just like a lot of work and we didn't realize it, but it was the countless hours of putting it together, but it was worth it in the end. And now that we know and we start way in advance.
Oh yeah.
Way in advance. We did this in 2 months. I think even shorter. I think December is when we started telling people for February.
Yeah, I mean, wow. Maybe that's when you started kicking the high gear. I was doing this like 6 months ago. But yes, where we really did our sprint, which is great for our brain chemistry. Our neurodivergency, I found, is the 2 month sprint or the 1 month sprint.
Where
That
where
really-
we were like, okay, we could really do this. Like we were talking about this for over a year. Yes, I will agree with you with that. We were talking about this for over a year. But when we started like honing in on the brands and I found out about like who to reach out to for the retreat and the sponsors, probably 2 months in, and then like my influencers, I was like, all right, now that we finally have everything on board, everything's locked in. I don't think you actually had the dates booked though here until December though.
Yeah, I don't know when we had them like
It's not just me. who
well, no,
decided to
we have, because I remember we had it even in like September, October. I had it like, I had messaged Ryan like, all right, cool, dude, we're holding these dates, these things. We just didn't know how many houses. We ended up booking all 3 houses plus container plus yurt, but we had at least 2 of the houses reserved back in September.
Yeah.
So like it was just, even then, that's what, like 4 or 5 months. The point is, even like it's a year-long preparation, and that's what I've learned is continuously like leveraging the balance between letting it unfold, but being very intentional with checkpoints.
Yeah.
And again, even think about it. Even let's say it is 2 months. Let's just go to the 2 months once everything. Even being able to see, look at all the brands that we're able to collaborate with and put together. And I know Gino's putting a lot of late nights, like a lot of.
Because a lot of
Past
the the
1
brands also are in different countries. So like a lot of them from Amazon, either some of them are in China, some are
coordinating.
across the US and in California. So it's like different time
Canada.
zones. So I was up until 2:00 in the morning talking to brands and so forth. But needless to say, it was worth it, especially like I think Funky Drunk is one of the #1 top selling brands on Amazon.
Yeah.
So they've been a huge supporter of us. They sent us hats, they sent us the sunglasses. Everyone's been wearing them. We got a bunch of content. I'm doubling down on the hats right now. They have bucket hats, but like they were really supportive. And when they found out what we're doing, I think those relationships we built, they knew that we're going to put something on that was really magical. So I think that's what mattered. So everything from like, these are really well-known brands like Built. They technically don't need us, but they were super supportive. Magic Mind does not need us, but they were super supportive. Funky Drunk, again, love them. They've been someone we worked with for so many years. And the fact that all these brands came together to be a part of this really meant a lot to us, I think.
Yeah, that's why I appreciate the entrust and the support that comes from it, and eventually the Wi-Fi keeping Gina's live stream going. But don't worry, we got it over here. And ultimately, this is like, again, this is our 3rd year doing it, where it's really my 4th year in like coming out here in this retreat intention. The last 2 years, Gina's very intentionally been tagged in, and
I said I was getting medical advice.
I guess maybe because of I don't know what.
Right.
But being able to have it grow from 4 people to 8 people to this year 20 people, and being able to continuously have, again, like Built and Magic Mind and these brands, Funky Junk and Beyond, St. James, like having them all collaborate and we get to pick them out and really be able to have their trust, and also the practitioners just like Michelle, like Rosie and all our guests, and we had Ina and Mary and Etho Wellness Club, and being able to have clients come out. And the cool thing from this is we've been able to actually now leverage people's health insurance too. So you're able to use, if you have Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, United Healthcare, use that for some aspects to cover some of the variables related to this, as well as all the sponsorships and support. It's been really cool. And even like PSCS Science, we like, just because they're willing to do it doesn't mean I was willing to take them on. I like went through and made sure that it's either stuff I've tried, I've worked with in the past, or I like what they stand for, and really excited to have that come on and to be able to do it in the future, because we're going to be doing this not only here in the Castle House, but in Asheville, North Carolina, where both Michelle and I are living currently, and bringing it to the East Coast, and even potentially up to New York. We have a family house in New York, in upstate New York, so we're thinking about maybe putting one up on there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've talked to my dad about like doing the upstate house.
What if we did
like,
like your? He should. What if we invest in Europe?
I've talked to him about it. Like,
Oh.
it's just trying to like figure that part out, you know? What?
I was just wanting to mention too. So it would have been nice to have brought one of my books for everybody here too, because the book Homicide by Hygiene is on Amazon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also.
Do you want to go in and grab it?
But
You
I don't have it anymore.
Oh.
I gave it away
Oh.
to one of our
Nice.
guests.
Okay.
But
Which you can see in the carousel.
Yes, her book is in the carousel. Since you're just talking about it, I might as well highlight it. So go ahead.
okay. So Homicide by Hygiene, it's really a guide that people can utilize to, whether they buy my products from my product line or they want to just find their products elsewhere. That's skincare, hygiene products. This is a guide that they can use, the book Homicide by Hygiene, to really decide what not only are good and bad ingredients, but what would be good and bad for their own individual health. And that's why the skincare line was even created and formulated by myself, is for people's health. So my business is Natural Health and Skin, and it used to be Happy Health Naturally. Hence the reason the books are not here, because my manuscript has just changed. I had to resubmit to Amazon. So I've got new books.
Pause for 1 second.
Yeah.
This is fully based on opinion. We are not giving any type of medical advice. We are not doctors. So Amazon does not shut me down again.
This
He is
is,
giving-
this is always liability coverage.
It's liability. They will shut me. That's why my lab said I was giving
Gotcha.
medical advice. So we are not giving any type of medical advice. This is just solely based on
Consult
opinion
with your
and how
doctor.
we feel the products work for us. There we go.
Yeah.
Before I get shut
It
down
can be
again.
very helpful to meet with someone first before you make your own decisions, a doctor and different physicians, to figure out really what's going on with your own body and what would be best for you. But yeah, on Amazon you can find the book, and
Highlighted right below, guys.
yeah, and so I brought samples of a few things for everybody here too. So they weren't in the bags initially, but when I did my presentation for the book and skincare, talking about things to look for,
my groups.
everybody got
It gets
samples.
cut down.
So feel free to reach out to me too for samples of different
Give me
products you
one.
may find on my website, naturalhealthskin.com. And I'll be happy to send you some samples. Thanks for your
Yes.
time.
I'm going to give this. Mike, do you want to talk about it a little bit? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I think a big actionable takeaway is the thing that I would recommend everyone check it out for the book is being able to look for very simple, clear actionables. Like, for example, what are some key ingredients you want to look for in whatever your skincare product line is, of like, hey, this can be a potential red flag, or this can be something I'm really excited about. And again, thinking about, and it'll talk about in the book, and again, not medical advice, is just informed decision making and insight to be able to ultimately figure out, hey, our skin's our largest organ. What we put on it is an impactful thing, just like what you ingest in your body, just like what you consume as far as media and entertainment. These are all really important variables. And it's just another aspect that to me comes a part of why we, with our retreat, with the lifestyle retreat, and with the whole brand of lifestyle of fitness, want to have this as a part of it, because it's a huge part to your overall quality of life.
Yes.
So I really appreciate Michelle for like coming out and being able to have informed decision making. And it's even with our like whether it's our supplement lines, whether it's with the different brands that we talked about, even like and that'll transition even to like I don't know if I'm pretty sure you have this in yours as well.
Yes.
So we have Rescue MD Skin.
I'm gonna highlight them
So,
next.
and I think this is the cool thing. I would collaborate. I would say even whether it's this brand or any brand you getting, let's say Michelle's book, and then also I have my book, The 28-Day Reset, and being able to buy some of these things to help you make informed decisions around what you're going to ingest, how you're going to work out, what you're going to put on your skin. So you can look for, like, for example, one of the ingredients is phenylexyl.
Phenoxyethanol.
Yeah, phenyl. Can you just say it? Because I have it written down, and I'm not going to like remember it.
Okay, can we just not for?
How about we say that for somebody
Let's dive
reviewing?
in there.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's
they
dive
can
in
watch
there.
the class.
But the point
for
is
that.
looking for particular ingredients you either do or don't want. You know what I mean? So being able to look for that and saying, hey, what, and reading the books, whether it's again, Homicide by Hygiene, 28-Day Reset, or any of these things to help you make decision making on what you're going to put on your skin as an organ.
Ooh, we got 3 people in here. Hi guys, welcome.
Say hey. Also, feel free to ask any questions. That's the one thing I would
Yes,
invite for
talk in the
everyone.
chat. Click that follow button.
We love to hear from you guys. And again, if you're finding value from this, follow, subscribe, check it out because we're going to have more content. And then in the weeks and months ahead, both Gina, myself, and Rosie, we want to be able to have content to follow up on this with guests, with more informed decisions, and being able to put things out based on the questions that you have. Because I'm sure many of you, and that's what's cool about Amazon, they have the little Rufus AI feature that'll ask questions. So this is a great time to ask questions with informed decisions.
Yes. So, with that being said, I'm going to talk
Tell us about it.
this is something I've been using for about 3 years now. And Rescue Skin MD started supporting me for probably since I first started on here on Amazon.
Yes.
And it's been something that like when you're sunburned, it helps repair the skin. Also, it is something that, you know, if you have scarring, it helps repair the scarring. So post procedures and like, what's it called? Skin, is it acid? No, why can't I?
Like chemical peels.
Thank you. I can think that's acid peels. Chemical peels, it post chemical peels, post op surgery, you want to help with your scar. So when I had surgery and a mole removed on my shoulder, I use this and it helped a lot with the scarring. I use it on my face, especially after post sun. And they do now have a body lotion and a lip repair. So absolutely.
Amazon's like, hey,
Am I talking about medical advice again?
what you got,
Yep.
Amazon? Amazon, do you not think that? I guess maybe I'm not talking about medical
But that's
advice.
a different product. It's not my skincare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's doing another.
Not your
Yeah,
turn.
no,
Not
doing
your
another.
No. Well, that's what
thing.
I found. I think it's maybe because I'm not tagging the products. It's not connecting it to any particular thing. So I'm just because like my live hasn't been taken down. So I'm curious.
I'm
I
not
mean, it
sure
did
if me
originally.
sitting here, they're gonna associate all this with me. So.
Sure. But anyways, while
But
we're
it's
kind
good
of
to
letting
give
Gina,
options, you know, and choices.
yeah, while Gina's getting her live stream set back up,
Right.
again, if you guys are watching, feel free to again drop questions. We have all of the same, like pretty much all these products tagged in here, and I think the biggest thing that I'm really grateful for is being able to have different things to try out, to test out, to have informed decision making. And at the end of the day, here's what I will say: whether it's like supplements or skincare products or anything, to me, honestly, it's like the last 20%. Like really, a lot of it's based on what our food is, our sleep, because I'm, you know, not this medical advice. My experience of it is if you're getting less than 7 hours of sleep a night, you're not adequately hydrated, you're not getting a really diverse nutrition intake or nourish plan, and you're not moving a certain amount, none of these other products are really going to bridge the gap. They're important and they can be helpful, but to me, they're the last 20%. So before you start spending all your money on skincare lines and supplements and bars and stuff like that, which is great, and I love using all of these things, I really think look at the lifestyle components that you get to hammer down first. For example, your sleep, get 7 hours of sleep, be able to move, 30 minutes a day if that's possible. Maybe it's 30 minutes a week, but get some movement in, being able to get adequate nutrition. And again, this isn't medical advice. This is just my experience and what I found really helpful. And then being able to get outside, get some vitamin D. And then, hey, when you do all those things, cool, add something to protect your skin. Being able to have all these other pieces that come into play that Gina was just talking about.
Yeah.
Right, Jay? Let's see. I feel like it's like, how do we frame things so that your stream's not continuously taking?
I know. I'm like, I'm not even gonna talk
You're
anymore.
like, I'm just gonna chill. But again, I at least appreciate we have one of our live streams is kind of up
Yeah.
and continuous here.
Which I can
I'll
send over to
download it.
I can send it to your link to the sponsors and so forth.
Yeah, and thank you
Um,
to all the sponsors. Like we do genuinely very much appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's
all the
been very
products,
impactful.
and again, I do love Rescue Skin MD. Like they're one of my favorites. But going on to the next one, we do have PS Science, the protein company.
I'm gonna pull up their powder right here.
So they do
And
have pre-made and then powder. So we're gonna highlight both so you guys can see. Absolutely, positively love, love, love their protein.
I've been mixing them in with my coffee pretty much every morning. This is the powdered version. Here's what I'll say: two things when it comes to. I'm going to specifically talk to the coffee component of it, which I'm holding up our disposable cup right here. But the idea is, I personally don't necessarily go with the powder for my coffee. I usually do the pre-made shakes. I find it
Yeah.
mixes better. It's just easier. It doesn't clump as much. You can use the powder. The cool thing I also love about these packets is this is a single serving packet. It's easy to tear and dump.
Travel.
It's 60 calories, 12 grams of protein. I would probably do 3 of these in a protein shake for my personal protein needs personally.
Wow, that's a lot.
That's 36 grams of protein. So that's like after a workout, that's what I would take.
Yeah.
For you, maybe 1 or 2 of these is fine. This is a great snack. It's great, again, travel friendly. And these pouches are like the size of your palm. They're very helpful. And the other thing is it's a whey and casein based protein. For me, that ultimately leads to it's a complete amino acid profile. It's a fancy way of saying it has all the amino acids you want to see to be able to repair your tissue, specifically leucine and isoleucine. Those are the ones that the way I remember it. I wonder about you, Michelle. Everybody Loves Lucy. You remember that show?
Mhm.
Everybody Loves Leucine for like
I love
muscle repair.
leucine. Oh, leucine.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I got
Like
you.
leucine, like or isoleucine, leucine and isoleucine. So like I Love Lucy is the show,
Yeah.
right? But like Everybody Loves Leucine is the way I remember it. So the point being is there's no added sugars to this. It's just, again, really like good quality stuff, and the flavor. I like the peanut butter. But they have cupcake, they have brownie, they have. Do you have like a favorite one? Mine is personally.
I like the
peanut butter.
cake batter. The cake batter is phenomenal. Sugar cookie,
There's the
cake bat.
pop. There's a
The
cream,
cake pop. Maybe I'm thinking that
Yeah,
there's sugar
cake
cookie and then
pop.
there's cake pop.
and then there's cookies and cream.
I
Yes,
like the peanut
cookies and
butter
cream.
cookie. That's the one I have right here.
There's
But
a
guys-
sugar frosted cookie too.
The fact that they have like these even little, you could get a variety pack from them, and the fact that they have
Yeah.
these easy to go on the go. They gave all of our guests like little samples to go home with. Oh my god!
Amazon's like, yo, stop telling me how to live my life.
I'm
I
not
appreciate
giving
you guys
medical
over here.
advice though. I'm not giving medical advice.
You know what I
Is that
think?
what it's saying?
Yeah.
I think it's maybe the way you're tagging the products, because I don't tag them anymore. I just like
Let it rock. All
let
right,
it
so
ride,
that's what
and
I'm
then
doing.
it seems to be less. I really think it's AI looking for certain words. But that's again Amazon. You tell me. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking
Is
about.
it because it's bringing up old stuff from the last episode?
Yeah, I
I don't
wonder.
know. I don't know.
However,
baby
again,
ones.
going back to PES Science, we really
Yeah, go ahead.
appreciate them for the powder as well as the pre-made shakes. I go back to the pre-made shakes. I like literally we housed all of them. They're like they were
really
awesome.
good. Not too sweet.
We had so vanilla cupcake and the chocolate. Those are the ones I really lean towards the vanilla cupcake. That was my personal favorite of the ones we had for the pre-made shakes. But for the powder, the Nutter Butter, I threw that in a pre-made smoothie. I basically did spinach, blueberries, strawberry, coconut milk. I did the peanut butter cookie, and it was really good. I even honestly, we threw in a little bit of yogurt. I gave some to my daughter in a smoothie. She even housed it. Now, maybe, because the Greek yogurt wasn't the best move for her digestive system, but we'll find that in the next 24 hours. But the point being, it was really delicious. And the difference to me is the powder, I would not mix it in a hot drink. If what I have done in the past that's really works well with this powder and all powders is mixing it with milk, water, whatever you like, coconut milk, almond milk, and then mixing it in with my coffee before it gets clumpy. I do with a cold drink. I use a little frother. Goes down very smooth, and then I mix it with my coffee. It's pretty simple, but again, really appreciate PES Science setting this up, because when Gina was telling me about the brand, I was really excited to see them kind of being willing to collaborate and send this out, because the thing I look for someone is third party tested, NSF, that's verified, because a lot of times, again, with supplements especially, I could throw flour in a container and call it whatever I want, and the FDA is not regulating that until it gets flagged, and then it has issues. But the cool thing is they put money into third-party testing to verify it says what it has in it, and I just really appreciate that. So this even says it's a half serving sample, but when you have a full serving, it's 120 calories, 24 grams of protein. It's just a really solid option. So I wanted to highlight that. I can see we have a question on Amazon. We have a couple questions here on YouTube and TikTok. So I'm gonna TikTok. I'm gonna get a little bit closer so I can read the questions, and then we're gonna go into the next one. We talked about Good Wipes. The one thing I do want to talk about is our electrolyte brands. And then we also have the Viva Naturals, some of the cocoa nibs, and some of the other chia seeds. And then, oh, hey, what's going on? That is Gina on my side. And then we also have Rosie and then Michelle. But it's great to see you.
Who's that?
I honestly I forget their name, but I can recognize the flower avatar. I want to say it's Mary, but
What's the name?
it just says Amazon customer. But I know
Hi.
I want to say it's Lori. Okay, I'm sorry, Lori. I thought I wanted to say Mary, but Lori, I was off quite a bit. And then it looks like, hey, we're just saying, hey, oh, what's up, Outpost Frank? So we have one of our guests, Frank. Yeah, Frank, I see you. Saying, hey, what's up, Galaxy? Yeah,
Oh,
Dina.
in
Yep.
the group chat.
We're in Joshua Tree, Cali. So that's the one thing I did want to go into. We had some snacks and we had some brands hook us up with a variety of things I figured we'd touch on, from the Kepi sending us some electrolyte blends. Now, here's the other thing. This is what I will go back to. When it comes to electrolytes, you can literally just get salt and throw it in. Now, the benefit to having these like pre-packaged ones is they do the math for you. So it takes a little bit of the front end work. Kepi Electrolytes is a brand I've worked with. So we look at the electrolyte ratios. We have what's called intracellular and extracellular electrolytes. Fancy way of saying getting water in or out of the cell. So they're going to do different things. They intentionally blend their ratio for that role. So we have magnesium, potassium, sodium, and being able to mix that as well as calcium. Now, the one thing we will look for that we won't go too far into the weeds of is the flavors. I personally like the lemon lime. That's like my personal like kind of favorite on that. But one thing we've talked about both in Michelle's book and in my book is how you can look for particular ingredients to decide if it's something you may or may not want to take in. Again, not medical advice, just informed decision making. But the thing I find is one packet, we were able to put it, everyone's throw it in a 16-ounce bottle of water, especially out here in the desert. For my athletes out there, for my fitness folks getting after it, one packet, throwing it into 16 ounces, it gives you the electrolytes that you're going to need to help you stay active from an endurance. And as little as a 1% dehydration can impact your cognitive performance. And then as you get more and more dehydrated, it can start to impact how you show up endurance-wise, physical strength. It just goes on and on and on. So electrolytes is a part of getting the proper balance, not just water, but the proper balancing. Because if you ever taste your own sweat, it's not just water, right? It tastes a little salty. There's going to be sodium components to that, magnesium, all these types of things that come into play. But yeah, I just enjoyed like them. I've worked with them in the past. I've worked with a variety like Element. I've worked with Kepi. I've worked with even paid for from different stuff. We've also made our own. If you can make it homemade, that's great. I really do recommend at the end of the day, if you can do it at home, make your own. You have the most control. But for those of us living busy lives, whether it's parenting, entrepreneurship, whatever's going on, hosting health retreats, it may not be as realistic. So having these as options, I think is great. And even when it comes to protein shakes or any of these drinks, yeah, sure, make it at home if you can. But the likelihood of us always being able to do that might be smaller. And I think of it as a spectrum, right? So if you can make your own protein bars, you can make your own protein shakes, you can make your own electrolyte blends, do it, especially if you feel confident with that. But a lot of us, depending on where we're at in our journey, may not feel as accessible to do that. So that's why I think these things become helpful. So thank you to the Kepi brand for the electrolytes. And then we're also kind of speaking of making things. We have two that I wanted to highlight, whether it's the Mesa chips. These were really good. I like the tallow, but they also had a really spicy habanero one as well. This was the Hatch chili. This is the tallow one as well. It was a little bit of kick, not too crazy. What I will say, this isn't like a crazy high infused protein. I think this is a great option for if you do like crunch, you like chips, you like things like that, maybe a little bit of salt. This can be a good option. Again, it's got 150 calories. So if I were looking for the protein ratio, I'd like to see 15 grams of protein. This has 2. So it's not really for the protein. This is as a maybe swap for other types of chips you may be having, like Tostitos or things like that. But again, it can be a great option. Again, grass-fed beef tallow, if that's something that's important to you, being able to get a little bit more on the unsaturated fat, being able to have, like, if you look at the ingredients, organic corn, 100% grass-fed beef tallow, Hatch green chili, purple stripe garlic, sea salt, organic onion, organic oregano, and organic black pepper. And so that's like really quite simple, relatively bare bones. No seed oils. I enjoyed these. No GMOs. I would just love to see, like, again, another stamp of like or USDA organic. But other than that, like, I really enjoyed just like all the different flavor profiles they had. And I wanted to highlight the Viva Naturals. They sent us the chia seeds. They also sent us
I think
the
cocoa
cacao
nibs.
nibs.
That has pronounced? I'm saying cocoa nibs.
I
You can
think
say
those
cocoa.
were great.
Cacao.
Both of them I like.
Yay.
Which one do you think, Michelle? Cocoa?
I thought both of them were great.
Viva
No,
Natural.
but do you think it's cacao or cocoa?
I thought it was
I
cacao.
would say cacao with that.
Yeah, no, I'm
supposed
just
to
messing with you.
No, I'm like, I'm definitely
I'm
wrong.
just messing with you.
I'm
But
definitely
the
wrong.
point is, and Lori, I see you got some more comments in there. I'm gonna go check them out in a second. I really enjoyed my personal application of using these was with our morning breakfast.
Mhm.
After I had my protein
Oh,
shake
yeah,
and my
sure.
coffee, I threw that on top with my Greek yogurt and then a little bit of chia seeds. I enjoy that. 9 grams of fiber for 150 calories per serving, 6 grams of protein. These are honestly great, whether it's for your yogurt, smoothies, protein shakes, being able to mix it in with your oatmeal. It helps from a satiety. It's a fancy way of saying keeping you full. But again, these are just, again, this is USDA organic. I believe it's, yeah, USDA stamped organic. Really good brand. I trust them. Both the nibs as well as the chia seeds were just great options. This is a good example of, these aren't supplements. These are like food oriented options that you can add into your life. That this is like my favorite kind of stuff to see, to talk about and play
Yeah.
with. But I'm gonna stop ranting. I'm gonna let Gina kind of tag in. I'm also gonna check the comments,
Go right
see
ahead.
what kind of questions we have coming in, because I see we have
So
some
guys,
questions.
I actually, this is the first time I ever had them. I think them by themselves is a very, you could tell like they're very, the word be
They're very
natural, raw.
bold. Very bold.
Yeah, you need them for me. I would need them mixed with something. It says right in the back how to enjoy, blend into a smoothie, shakes. I thought it was gonna taste like a Hershey's chocolate bar,
Oh,
and that
good.
just was not what I was expecting. But bake it, sprinkle it. It's meant to be mixed with something, and then you have the chia seeds. I said it right instead of chia. Chia
Yeah.
seeds.
Chia.
I love chia seeds. So this brand is absolutely phenomenal. They also have flour. They also have different things you can use for shakes. They're absolutely phenomenal here on Amazon. They had a bunch of things, and I absolutely love. Ooh, sorry. And also, just really quick to Mousa, everyone raved about this brand. Just so you know, on my channel, everyone sees this.
Yeah, they're really
That everyone raved about them. They're a little small. I'm sure they're a little bit more on the pricey, but they're well worth it. You could get them here on Amazon, and they're absolutely phenomenal. So these like 3 were like a big hit every morning, and then we use this for Super Bowl. So we had these
Yeah.
out for Super Bowl, and that was a great way to snacky poo.
And one of the things I just want to piggyback, I had a question. So Lori, I see you saying you're looking for the chia seeds. In my carousel, I have the Viva Naturals, the cacao nibs. But if you click on that, you can also go to Viva Naturals. I have the chia seeds as well. I did put both in there. I just didn't have room in the carousel. You can also go to Gina's stream. You'll see she has the chia seeds in there. But the brand itself, Viva Naturals, they're on point. And then going to the chips, I did make a video even while we were doing Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We did hey, how can you, when you are either at a Super Bowl party or you're at any kind of event, how can you navigate being able to stay on the nutritional plan you want? Bring your own food when possible. Bring your own chips. Be able to say, hey, I really like these. You don't have to then make a special request. Just bring your own stuff. This is a great option to bring. And then speaking of with desserts and snacks, Gina's got stuff in there. This was, I'll be honest with you, out of all the stuff we got, these
He
are actually
loves these.
my hands down favorite. I could literally smash a whole bag of those.
So we
One
have
go.
BTR Nation. So these are dark chocolate hazelnut butter. So they're like your alternative to a Reese's peanut butter cup, but way cleaner. So real ingredients, vegan, no soy, no sugar, alcohols, direct trade, no sugar added. So this one's, go ahead.
I haven't seen these yet.
We house them.
They were
The person
so-
identified.
They didn't make them.
Everyone grabbed one.
There was a couple
There's
seconds and they were all gone.
only 6 in
That's
a
my
bag.
bad. I ate them all.
But
Sorry.
this
Great.
I know, they're so
This
good.
is
Okay.
When we get more, though, I'll send you some because I'm gonna get more.
so they're also
And their bars are really good too. The bars, honestly, I'm not gonna
they're
lie.
vegan too, guys.
The hazelnut and the almond butter cups, hands down favorite. We actually make these at home, not that brand, but I make my own with Carrie. We make our own peanut butter cup
So
recipes,
good.
higher protein, higher fiber,
So
lower
good.
on no added sugar, stuff like that. But their bars on point. I personally like the peanut butter one the best. This was the nut butter. This was my favorite. But this is the dark chocolate brownie. That was good. This was my secondary. My absolute favorite was the peanut butter crunch. That was my number 1. Then they have Amazon just doesn't love you. I don't know. And then they have the hazelnut and the almond butter. I got to be honest, the hazelnut actually surprised me. I love hazelnut butter, but that one I actually liked even more than the almond butter. But honestly, everything we had from BTR was on point. They were my actual favorite from. I would take them over the Built even. The Built's good. The one thing I will say when we look at the ratio, 170 calories. Let me check the protein because I think they were a little bit, they're 7 grams of protein. So they're not really meant to be like a protein bar. They're more meant to be like, I would have this maybe while I'm hiking during the day on an active component and then have it in combination with maybe my coffee and protein or with my meal or protein shake. I would have it almost like a dessert option. But again, this is a great option if in a perfect world, you make your own version of this. Like I make my own peanut butter cups 9 out of 10 times. But if I'm not making my own, this is what I'm going to be getting versus Reese's and things like that. And then instead of I will make my own protein bars and superfood bars. This will be a great option to have as a backup too. But I also want to go through, I like to look for fiber. They have 7 grams of fiber per bar. So for 170 calories, 7 grams of fiber, 7 grams of protein. Again, I'm a big, macro nut, like I look at that, but even Michelle, I want you to look at these ingredients. This is probably the most impressive like ingredient combination I've seen from all the bars I've been able to work with for brands. And again, it's less of a high protein bar. It's more of like they word it correctly, a superfood bar, a kind of snack option. Yeah, but if you look at overall, like it's not perfect, but they have some really good quality sourced items. And in general, BTR, they've really impressed me with more like the cups are awesome. They grab my attention, but the superfood bars really take it over the top for me. And I'm excited to be able to, honestly, like even if they weren't sponsored, I would pay for these. This is something I will just pay to order and bring to my house. But speaking of snacks, this is another one that combined with the Mesa chips, the Lenny and Larry's, I associate this brand to their cookies. I'm sure you've seen the like Lenny and Larry's cookies. I don't know if you've seen this brand, but the pretzels actually, these like, I call them the waffle pretzels or the square shaped pretzels. So good. These were my favorite of all the chips and pretzels. The sticks they have are good. They're actually a little bit higher protein per calorie ratio. This is for a bag, 380 calories, 20 grams of protein. Not the perfect ratio, but they're still really good. And it was honestly my favorite flavor. And with the pretzel sticks, that's just a great overall snack option. So I would mix this like with a guacamole combo with our turkey chili. That was on point. I just thoroughly enjoyed all of this.
I think it would be a great option too for kids for snacks.
Oh yeah, for kids too. And it's plant-based because that was the other thing we were catering to, not only gluten-free, vegan, having a lot of plant-oriented things. And a lot of times when you have plant-based, there is a component of processed items and ingredients still. So you still want to be mindful of that. But I think they do a really good job of overall selecting quality ingredients that align with what you're going to want to look for.
And I think next up, so make sure mine doesn't get
for
shut down.
Coffee syrup. I'm going to slide out for the questions too.
So guys, we had this company send over some coffee flavors. So these are really, really great. Salted caramel, cappuccino, amaretto. And I haven't yet to try the vanilla yet, but amaretto is my absolute favorite. So I'm really, really excited. And they have a whole bunch of other things you can cook with as well, which I really, really love. And if I'm not mistaken, it's only 25 calories.
And a little bit goes a long way.
And a little bit goes a long way. Just a little bit of flavor to your coffee, tea. We even want to bake with these. It's a great option to use as a flavor for baking. So I really, really love these. They're small little tiny bottles. They do have full size and other things you can cook with. So I absolutely love that. And they're in the carousel down below. Okay, guys. So really, really love these flavored different syrups. Mine, I absolutely love the amaretto. Okay. Please don't shut me down. Please just let me live.
I'm going to pick out the vanilla. Check this. I like in general, vanilla is my go-to. That's why I like vanilla cupcake from the PES Select. But adding some cinnamon too. I love adding cinnamon to my coffee. Even to my eggs. I don't know if you've ever done that.
Really? I've never. Oh, I have the egg that Ryan gave me from his chicken I have to cook. I've been dying to taste this egg that came right from the chicken's vent, as Ryan told me they like to call it, supposedly.
Yeah, that was really good. I put that with a little bit of cinnamon.
I thought you said it was good. You ate my egg. I was like, you ate my egg?
What? It's delicious.
She ate my egg.
On the low.
And then Lori, I don't know what's going on with that. So, and then Lori, you had some great questions. We're going to get to those. I appreciate you asking about from the inflammatory oils to the protein to fiber ratio. But I want to just we're going to get to this. And then also one of the things I want to compliment on is yes, the coffee syrup. So this is where I think of it as a lifestyle, right? Like, okay, in a perfect world, you're going to drink just black coffee, right? You're not going to add anything to it. But being able to do it, ideally, I will do my workouts in the morning. So mixing in some syrup flavoring with my coffee and my protein, that's kind of the time I like to do that stuff. And then being able to have my more higher carbohydrate, higher sugar oriented things around my workout. That's where I try and where my body's going to be utilizing glycogen and utilizing my storages and replenishing some of the storage around the workouts is where I position it. And one of the other things I really enjoyed this week, which is I appreciate the single serving packages, is the By Nuts butter. So being able to say, hey, you could pop out one of these and just be able to know you have a single serving, so you don't have to, because I don't know about you guys, but I can easily house like 5 tablespoons of peanut butter and call it 2. They very intentionally have 1 pack for a serving, 125 calories, 5 grams of protein, basically a tablespoon of peanut butter or nut butter. And this is like, again, somewhat travel friendly, on the go. Throw it on our, like, we had some bread options. We had a great chef out here doing some compost jelly-esque type things. And then one of the things I wanted to speak to with like all this coming together, and Michelle, maybe you can weigh in on this a little bit. We're going to be mindful how we word this because we don't want to give medical advice, but we're going to try. And one of the questions that came in from Lori was how we look at ratios of protein to fiber. I'll lay in some of those numbers. And that's where like our app, I think, becomes really helpful. If you go on the LOF app, and if you buy our bands, you go into our book, you even you follow our link tree in our website, or go to our website, you'll get free access to that. It will go over formulas and give you the exact ratios of how much protein to look for daily, how much fiber, basic kind of formulas. But what I like to look for is for every 100 calories, 10 grams of protein, 1 gram of fiber. That's like a very easy breakdown.
I'm just
And
gonna
then
let you talk because I feel like
I
it's
hear
me.
you.
So like, let's see if it gets shut down if you're just like.
It's very particular the words I get to use. And then one thing that was asked about inflammatory oils. When it comes to that, like, again, I think that's like on a side of a spectrum that, Michelle, you have a really great informed perspective on. And I wonder if there's any in particular, like trying to keep, again, without medical advice, things you look for or do's or don'ts when it comes to inflammatory oils, whether it's seed oils, olive oil, any variation, because Lori was kind of asking any requests or thoughts around inflammatory oils, which is kind of tricky to not get
It
to.
depends on if she's talking about oils that you'd use on your body, and in skincare, or oils that you would consume.
Yeah, that's a great question. So actually, I'm going to ask Lori, if you're still watching, are you specifically talking about for our cooking and for food? Or are you talking about for skin? So we'll give a moment. It looks like she's answering, and I'm going to go through to see if we have any of the brands that we wanted to talk about that we might have missed. I know that, this is another one that we had. I have 2 in here I'll talk about. I'll kind of bring them in and zoom them in to see what Lori's mentioning. So consume. So talking about food. Okay, so you can hear, though. That's helpful. Yeah, Gina's mic's a little low compared to yours. Okay. Thank you for the heads up. So we have 2 products here I just wanted to shout out really quickly. One is Key, their energy drinks. This one, honestly, the pineapple passion fruit, I would say, is probably my favorite. I tried the ginger lime. I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm not a huge fan of the ginger lime. I think the pineapple passion fruit's the go-to. They're 80 calories. So it's basically just a carbohydrate-oriented drink. This, to me, is another option you can have pre-workout or earlier in the day. And being able to, I believe it has, 80 milligrams of caffeine. So it's kind of a combination of being able to have your caffeine-oriented drink. That's roughly going to be about a cup of coffee, but it's going to also give you a little bit of energy and calories so it can fuel you through your workout and help from a cognitive standpoint. That's kind of the goal around it. Again, 0 sugar added. They say low caffeine. I think that's relative because 80 milligrams is more or less a lower dose cup of coffee. So still be mindful of how sensitive you are to that. And then lastly, to just give a shout out to the Ramen Bay. We use this. We had one night where we just had like a ramen cook off, I'll say. So this is the toppings. They also hooked us up with the actual noodles. They had a really good ratio of the protein, but just from the seasoning, this has all really good stuff in it that I at least personally appreciate. Now, there's things that, depending on how sensitive you want to get or where your system is, you may want to look through a couple of the end ingredients. But from a flavor standpoint, it's on point, seasoning. But specifically, this is where I'll take an opportunity to pause. I appreciate the questions, Lori. So I'm going to have Michelle speak to your thoughts, and maybe I'll share mine, and I'm curious yours. When the question from Lori is coming in around specifically looking at inflammatory oils that we're eating. So I think we've talked about this too, is like, depending on what your priority is. Like for me, it's getting a macros side of it, proteins, fats, carbs, being able to do that. How many calories you eat are going to dictate if you're losing or gaining weight or maintaining weight. The ratio of your calories, your fats, carbs, protein is going to dictate the body composition that you have. But then even if, let's say, you're eating the right, quote unquote, or the matched calories, protein, fats, and carbs for your goals, you could be eating certain quality or lack of quality ingredients that will come at a cost that you're maybe going to realize from autoimmune standpoint or from carcinogenic effects down the road, 10, 20, 30 years. So I think in the beginning, it can be helpful. A lot of times when I work with people, I don't stress as much like, hey, yes, we want quality stuff, but if you're eating McDonald's every day, let's just start focusing on, hey, like hit certain protein goals and caloric goals. Then when you feel better, like Lori, then you can start to focus on inflammatory foods and things like that. That's where I would tag in Michelle, saying, hey, Michelle can help bring you to a more optimal styled nutritional approach. So curious, with that being said, Michelle, your thoughts on like inflammatory oils, either things that you personally like to avoid and things that you maybe leverage more of in your home or meal use.
Right. So I think that's a good way to answer it, without
Going over the top.
yeah, is personally when it comes to particular oils that I would consume.
Yeah, like what do you eat? Like what's your
I-
like top 3 you cook and use?
So I would, well, actually I cook in water. I don't cook in
Okay.
oil at all.
Okay.
And then I add the oil after
For like
the
flavoring
food
or
has
like
been cooked.
okay.
Yeah.
So what do you
like
add?
when
What's
it's
your
on the
top
plate,
3?
Then I'll add like olive oil.
So olive oils, but not cooking it, right? So
And
not
make
exposing
sure
it to
it's
certain
still,
heat.
organic. It has
Yep,
the seal
okay.
on the olive oil.
Organic
There's a
olive
lot
oil.
of counterfeit olive oil out there right now.
Yeah.
Avocado oil.
So we got avocado oil is another one.
Yep. And then,
And it's okay even if there's not
I don't
3.
use too many, but actually what's considered a superfood is red palm
Ooh,
oil.
red palm oil. So that's the 3 that she's talking about that she's actively using and being able to put on top. But again, specifically not really heating it.
And they would come in a jar. So
Right.
I wouldn't buy oils that are in plastic. That would be very unhealthy. And then if you mix actually half olive oil and half red palm oil,
Ooh.
you get an amazing substitute for butter.
Ooh.
Because I
Okay,
don't
so
consume butter.
I'm just reframing this because I don't know if the audio is picking it up the same. So I'm just like, that's why I'm like saying all
Okay.
this so that we make sure they hear you. Is being able to have the red palm oil half and then half with olive oil can be a nice butter substitute.
Yeah,
is what I'm
mixing
hearing
those
you
two
say.
together, and you
Mixing
can
them up.
stick it in the fridge in a glass container, and it becomes hardened just enough to where it's spreadable like butter.
Yeah, so you
It's
can have that.
awesome, but it's orange because it's got the beta carotene in it. And,
Nice.
as far
Vitamin
as
A, get your vitamin A on.
but the seed oils, those questions are coming up more and more with the population. They're becoming more aware of how they can affect the body. And
Yep.
as far as sometimes when you eat things that possibly could be a little inflammatory, if you eat other things that can counter that, because sometimes it's not always what you eat, but what you eat together and how you prepare it. So that can make
Like
a big
heat
difference.
exposure or combination with other things.
Yeah, and proportions.
Right.
Like I was talking about that bean pasta the other
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
It's different. Are you eating this many beans and all this pasta, or are you just eating this little amount?
Right,
You're
right.
gonna have gas if you.
Right.
But
Have a higher
I do
volume.
not do any canola oil.
Right, so
Period.
no canola oil. This is basically where I'm just reframing for you listening, Lori, and everyone
Yeah.
else's. So skipping out on the canola oil. And
Yep.
again, this isn't medical advice. This is Michelle's perspective coming from an informed nutrition coach background. That again, if you want to see her full background, we did a podcast prior. You can see all of that. We're not going to like go into all that yet. But no, it's coming from a very informed, insightful decision and perspective. So skipping on the canola oil.
Yep. And then
What else
just
you
one
potentially
last
skipping
thing
on?
I'll mention is when it comes to sunflower
Sunflower oil.
it should say high oleic.
Looking for high oleic.
OLEIC.
Okay.
I feel that's the better form of it from the research I've done.
Nice.
But yeah, that's pretty much me. But yeah, I will consume some seed oil, but it depends
looking
upon
for
some
particular-
factors.
yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's helpful, Lori. I'm going to come over and I'm going to check in the chat to see if we have any additional questions that come up with that. And then I think we might start to bring it home. Yeah, high oleic is better. It's still processed. She's not a registered dietitian, but she has a nutrition coach credential from I don't want to butcher integrity.
Well, it's IIN, so it's an integrative nutrition.
Integrate, there it is,
coach, but
integrative
also
nutrition.
My degree is in alternative medicine.
And a degree in alternative nutrition.
It's alternative medicine with a specialty in herbs.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I figured that's kind of like right where we're at on the tail end here. We hit about an hour, so I'm just gonna pause. I'm gonna check in with Gina and Josh. How's that? I think we got through pretty much everything.
Let me see.
I want to make sure we don't miss any of our brands. Again, I have a lot of gratitude for pretty much everybody. From
Maybe if you want to just do
perspective.
a recap and bring it home with the funky junk.
Yeah. So let's just bring it home as like kind of one of our like staple sponsors that's really like kind of headlining all of this was the bless you. The I Like My Girl Dad from Funky Junk. They also hooked us up again with the glasses from Valentine's Day Heart. My personal faves I've been rocking this whole week was I'll Bring the Good Times, and my daughter,
Yes.
9-month-old Hope, absolutely loves these. Been chomping on them all weekend. They also again hooked us up with a wide spectrum of hats, from like our full moon going into waxing and waning, being able to have the Pink Pony Club West Hollywood kind of trucker hat style, the one that Rosie has here, wild. Again, just a really cool. They've been like super
Absolutely.
awesome, not only for this retreat, but just all the stuff I've ever tried from them have been really high quality and lasted honestly for years. And also just from the aesthetics, always done really well. And I appreciate working with them as a team. And then really just for all of our brands that I'll just give a highlight to. All of them are great. My favorites were the PES Select protein, both the powder and the shakes. Also the Viva Naturals, specifically the cacao nibs, because I was using that the most. The chia seeds, really solid. But also the BTR, these nut butter cups, absolute best favorite dessert kind of snack. And then their superfood bars also on point. But that's pretty much it, y'all. We're gonna bring it home. When I get back, we're also gonna do some more collaborative content to recap everything, but we want to do it here as we're heading in. This is our last day. Everyone's pretty much went home. We're gonna start packing, getting ready for our flights tomorrow early in the morning, and doing some last minute kind of things. But I appreciate y'all. Feel free to, again, if you're watching the live, let us know. If you have any additional questions. If you watch this as a replay, drop questions. We'll follow back, make content. If you watch the replay, just let us know. Follow, share, subscribe, like. Gina, Rosie, Michelle,
Yes.
we have all of our social media here as well as on Amazon. And again, make sure you're supporting. If you want to support us, supporting these brands that support us, that make all this possible. Yeah. Thanks, y'all. That's pretty much it. We'll bring it home from
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you.
Bye. Now we get to pack it all up and roll home.
Have a good flight.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Thank
y'all.
you.